And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not.
Well, it looks like I had some sort of a hiccup there, but I think we're on now. I apologize about that. Looking forward to a nice, relaxing reflection end of the day here. It's a little late getting started. Had to make Hogue money and had to rush a little bit to get things started, so apparently I screwed something up. Don't see anybody here. But let's just do this anyway. So we had a little basing here in the equities with Credit Suisse seeking help with their liquidity issues. We've got the S&P's closing down 25 points, not bad, 0.6%. The NASDAQ closing higher, 45 points, 0.4%. And the Dow futures down 300 points, 0.9%. Crude oil, really one of the talks of the town here because crude closed down at 67.61. That's $3.72 lower just today, over 5% off the price for crude oil just today. We talked this morning about not stepping in front of markets that are directional and would have paid mostly in the overnight with these markets, but you don't want to start jumping in front of a market that's directional like that without some sort of structure, without some sort of basing in the daytime frame for you to kind of lean on. And we're going to take a look because there's a couple of really good examples of that today. As far as what's going on in the world, Switzerland is holding talks on options to stabilize Credit Suisse. The Swiss government faces pressure from at least one major government to intervene, but they don't want to. That's really the kind of talk that I'm seeing here overall. Again, with crude oil also one of the talks of the town because that's a pretty big downside move. Now, one might suggest that there was an increase in potential supply here in the U.S., and that's not necessarily true. The EIA petroleum status report came out pretty much just as they were expecting, adding 1.5 million barrels to inventories here in the U.S. So probably not that big a jump, and it was expected. So we see these technical moves sometimes. Of course, they're exacerbated by new information. I'm sure there's a few things that happened today or things that I did not have the opportunity to investigate here just yet as far as what happened in crude today. One of the most fascinating markets that I thought that I saw today that I thought was kind of neat, if markets can be neat, it was the euro. Euro went from weekly kickoff high to weekly kickoff low, based there. Weekly kickoff low, important inflection level. That's one of those levels that if I'm available and paying attention, I'm probably going to respond to, which I did not today. Not today. Had a couple of good things in the S&Ps. It wasn't in the right seat when the S&Ps broke out to the upside above the high of the initial balance, but still had a pretty decent day nonetheless. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, and heckling are always welcome. Love always welcome as well. Good afternoon, Daryl, Kevin. Good to see you, Robert, Bill, and Will. We're going to take a look through the charts here. A reminder, tomorrow I will be here for the market prep as well as make Hogue money. And then I'm out of town for the rest of the day. And on Friday, we're going to have JD, John Doherty, the Dancing Bear, doing the market prep for you all on Friday. You haven't seen him for a while. I'm sure it'll be good to see him. And I know he's excited to see all of you. So you'll get to enjoy seeing JD on Friday morning. I know I'm going to, I'll probably be watching, even though I'm not going to be involved and engaged in the markets, just to see what happened in the overnight and see what JD has to say about them. Good afternoon, Anissa and Lee Trevino. Lee Trevino, I think you were credited with the quote, "The more I practice, the luckier I get." Was that Lee Trevino that said that? And one of the golfers said that. So, all right, well, let's jump in and look through these charts so we can start our Wednesday evening, and we'll see what's happening. So, 3 months coiling, 3 months range bound. You let the horse out of the barn and look how it runs, right? Take a look at the 30-minute chart. Directional activity almost all the way to the close. Now, this is one of the things we were talking about, is the fact that the market is in a direction, and trying to pick a bottom in that direction is just going to get you run over. The market opened. I'm not sure if it left the opening range necessarily at the dead high of the day. We could look and see that right now. Let me take a look-see. Let me get the right chart up here. Opening range, the dead high of the day. Pretty substantial opening range, though, wouldn't you say? 49 to 12 to 13. That's pretty substantial, but it did give us a couple of opportunities back inside the opening range to help us limit risk. Anywho, opening range, the dead high of the day. I'm looking for sells only pretty much throughout the day unless something changes. But still, I mean, if you sold it, let's say you bought it here. You got stopped out here. Maybe you bought it here. You got stopped out here. Maybe you bought it here. You got stopped out here. Maybe you bought it here, or even here. You got stopped out here. It wasn't until the market really kind of put a buying signal into this is a bullish piercing pattern here, and it's really the first kind of opportunity I saw for any kind of reversal pattern here. We also discussed the swing lows on the continuation chart. 66.12 right about here was one of those swing lows. We looked below it, we rejected. What's the TPO chart look like? Here it is. Remember, we had a late spike. Would you call this acceptance of lower pricing? I know I would. A little bit of excess on the low here. Normal variation trading day, initial balance, the high of the regular trading hour session. How is this true if the opening range was the high of the session and it only came... Oh, I know why. No. There's why. There's why. Okay, opening range of the dead high. Range bound, continuation to the downside, normal variation day. Little bit lack of confidence in here. A lot of holes, a lot of anomalies here. Pretty decent close, but value moving lower. Here's the S&Ps. So we looked at this morning and said, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a third day in balance here. And boy, this market, I'm sure, chewed a lot of people up this morning. While they were looking for bigger moves, the market really remained somewhat rotational for the better part of the day. That excess down to weekly kickoff low still looming large. Here is the 30-minute. So we have, yeah.
Have Donna call me later tonight.
Okay, everything okay?
Yeah, good. I
Okay.
just got to get home so that I can't use my truck to go to work. So there's one little spot in the bathroom on the wall in the lower.
Uh-huh.
I was patching it, and I went to go sand it, and it was still wet. So it's messed up. I'll fix that when I come back.
Okay.
But everything's good. I didn't put the TV back up because I figured you guys weren't going to be here anyway.
Okay,
In your
fine.
bedroom. Do you want me to put it back up? a
No,
little bit?
that's fine.
Okay.
Fine.
And then you just let me know about Saturday, and then where we're going to go and everything, and we'll go get the stuff.
Get out of here.
I already talked to my bro.
Done.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, folks. So, where was I? Oh, directional activity. We had already started basing before the market opened. Always started, just started basing before the market even opened. So the market opens and it's very, no confidence, very confused almost, it seems. You've got lots of long shadows on short bodies here. This market was just looking for new information. And it found it, but not till later on. And that was when I think they said something about Credit Suisse finding some help. So we got a pop to the upside. We never really accepted inside of value from yesterday. We never really accepted inside of even the range from yesterday until later on in the session. So anyways, the excess from 2 days ago, again, looming large. Market closed pretty good, closed pretty positive, but still, looking at all these long shadows, these long wicks on these candles, there's not a lot of confidence here. The focus, I believe, moving forward, what investors and traders are going to be focusing on is what's going to happen on Wednesday. Probably be some lighter activity while we finish up rollover. Don't forget it's quadruple witching day on Friday, which I'm going to miss. I'm not sorry about that, but just keep that in your mind. We've got a kind of a weak low and a weak high here in this profile. Take a look. Okay, not a very strong low, but we are still holding above the, I want the other chart here. This one, there we go. We are still holding above the excess from Monday. Not a very strong low. Now we've just put in a very poor high into the close here. Almost put up a late spike, just missed it by that much. One little TPO sticking out the top of this range. It's a poor high. It's a poor high. It's an unfinished upside auction. We open higher. We can't close the gap. Look out. We'll review all this tomorrow morning and we'll take a look at what happened in the overnight. What about the NASDAQ? Why is the NASDAQ so strong? Why? No banks. Closing higher on the day, seeing the volume coming in regular trading hours as rollover comes closer to an end, and I'm always very celebratory when rollover ends. Medium time frame range still remains. Extremes, Monday's high, Monday's low, last week's high. Just take a look here at the 30-minute. So we did trade down to that point of control. Let me put the profile on here. I must be slacking. Okay, so we did trade to this naked point of control. We're going to shorten that up. So we know we traded to it. All the way through value, closing higher. Value, which I see the question there, Scott, how do you tell when value is moving lower? Look at the value areas. Actually, in the NASDAQ since last Friday, we see value moving higher. Maybe not today, but at least overlapping to even high, overlapping lower, but value moving higher. Take a look at the TPO chart. more excess. Excess. This is including the overnight. Just that's what these other profiles are here. Value moving higher. You're going to be interested to see what open interest does tomorrow. And again, it doesn't really help because it's in rollover. Interesting. Gold, we have an outright higher value today. We see this market trying to continue this move to the upside. A nice pullback with a loss of open interest yesterday. 30-minute chart. No gap close. No gap close. Value higher. We did take out that naked point of control. Value continuing to move higher. We can see the value area in red here, 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 here. Same, now higher again. This market is attempting to move higher. How good of a job is it doing in getting there? Volume's been good, but open interest has been waffling. But again, now gold is coming into rollover. I hate rollover. I don't think we need to see the TPO chart. It was a normal variation day. Here's the euro, and this is why I think this was so fascinating. Most of it, of course, happened in the overnight when the news about Credit Suisse came out. I kind of missed that news this morning. I apologize. I don't know what the heck I was looking at. I didn't even talk about it on the prep. But be that as it may, I'm going to take these off. We're still range bound now. Here's the 30. We were talking about, okay, we've got a directional move. We traded through 1, 2, 3 naked points of control into last week's low, and this week's weekly kickoff low. Traded right to it. Then we started basing. When we start basing, you get a low here, you get another low here, you get a higher low, you get a lower low that's rejecting. This is basing. This gives you the opportunity to, again, look at these lows as opportunities for longs because you don't have to lose a lot. If you tried buying them all night, you got run over several times. TPO and market profile are the same, Bruce. Same. Just a different name for the same thing because, well, trading is complicated enough. Why not further complicate it, right? What's the TPO chart look like? Normal variation, IB high remains the high. Little bit of a look down below the IB low here. Almost a normal trading day. Almost. Ain't that something? 10-year. So rates continue to look to the downside today. The downside structure was great. Man, this was quite the breakout to the upside, huh? Quite the breakout to the upside. Above weekly kickoff high, no gap fill, continuing to push higher till some point later in the day we saw prices come off. Still no gap fill. TPO chart. P-shaped. I wonder if do we have shorts in this market? Interesting. What about the natural gas? Here's the daily. Still relatively close to that sticky area. No major moves today. Although it kind of looks like it on the 30-minute chart, doesn't it? There we go. So no gap fill. Gap fill actually to the tick almost. Looks like, yeah, to the tick. Finding sellers, testing back to the low end of the area of balance. coming back in. How about the TPO chart? Or market profile chart? Get a poor low here. Get a poor low here. I got dots in here. I got dots in here. Nobody cares. No, this is a poor low. Long liquidation. Poor low. Unfinished downside auction. Watch out. Watch out. All right. Well, in this day in history, in 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings become the first professional baseball team. 1901, Van Gogh paintings are shown. 71 of them caused a sensation across the art world. 44 BC, today is the Ides of March, the day Julius Caesar met his maker. 1820 today, Maine enters the Union. 1767, Andrew Jackson is born. You know him from the $20 bill. 72, Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather opens. The Godfather. And in music, 1941, our good friend Mike Love is born. Mike Love, co-founder of the Beach Boys, was with the Beach Boys forever. Sly Stone, today's his birthday in 1944. Ry Cooder, 1947. Some of you diehards will know Ry Cooder. Terrence Trent D'Arby, today's his birthday, born in 1962. Yes, he's older than I am, as is Bret Michaels. It's his birthday today. Will.i.am, his birthday today, 1975. I didn't look through any of the events. Well, 1975, the Doobie Brothers went to number one on the U.S. singles chart with Black Water, the group's first of two number one U.S. hits. And that's going to be about all I can do. Tired, long day. Be ready for tomorrow. Again, I'll be here for the prepping for Make Hogue Money, and then I'm out of town for a couple of days. My 27th wedding anniversary, so we're going to just go relax and have a little fun and goof off and eat and drink and celebrate 27 years. Sounds more like a sentence, which I kid, I joke, I kid. So, well, have a good night. Make sure you're kind to yourself, be kind to others, and say a prayer for peace, man. We need all the prayers we can get. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow on the Market Prep. Have a good night.